primary care home is an integrated care provider model focused on a defined population and building on the strengths of general practice list registered populations.
The characteristics are things that are probably stronger than in some of the other elements, and that the four key elements are the things that will make it work. And if you don't have all four ingredients, it probably won't be a primary care home.
The four pillars of primary care home, the first of which is a defined registered population built on the registered list of general practice. And it's really important to focus that at a particular level, and we've chosen the level to be 30 to 50,000 people. We think that's the right size to scale and the right size to care at the same time.
The population is defined by registration rather than geography. So it's defined by the affinity of practices that can work together and the people who choose to register without those practices. Now, we want coterminosity ideally with geography, but it is based on registration.
The second pillar is an integrated workforce built around the needs of that population. Absolutely built around the needs of that population. So then you think about what the skill mix solutions are for the care functions that you need, and you build your team based around that. And you draw your team from the existing workforce, and that might include the healthcare workforce, primary care, secondary care, community care, mental health. It might include the social care workforce. It might include the informal workforce that are volunteers, carers, members of our community. And it's those three dimensions coming together as a single unified team which makes the primary care home such an exciting prospect.
With workforce modelling, which is different to standard general practice, it's incorporating primary care contractors, but it seems to have captured the imagination of the primary care community, the social care community. We're working with local authorities, the third sector, and even secondary care, who are looking to how they integrate more within the primary care home development.
Everybody who works in a primary care setting, a community-based setting, to have a population responsibility as well as to care for individuals. We need to do both.
The third key principle is a focus on population-based health outcomes, because actually sometimes it's too easy just to focus on the needs of your organisation or the needs of a person with illness without actually thinking about the needs of the population. And as we know, that includes the wider social determinants, it includes things that matter to individuals. It means actually working collaboratively with your patients, families, carers and communities. And then the final bit, as I mentioned earlier, is the data, tools and resources that you need to actually drive that population-based healthcare model, because without those, you're actually not going to drive a transformation in the care that you provide. And actually having access to the resources and being responsible for those resources means that team that we spoke about is working in a totally integrated way, because they're all sharing the same moments, the same joy, the same triumphs and the same sorrows, because they're working absolutely collaboratively within one unified envelope.
The ethos is that it's about making sure that we look at the whole population and its needs, and it's this bit of moving from illness to health. And we talk about it a lot in the health service, but if we arrange things around primary care home, that's exactly what we're going to do, is make sure that the population is healthy, whether that's their mental health or their physical health, and they don't escalate into illness at the wrong time. Also, it deals with people that have got illnesses, and we're looking at how we better support them. So it gives them hopefully better quality of life, and that they're getting enjoyment out of life.
It's the sheer energy and enthusiasm I'm picking up from the sites and the prospective sites, and that's, in my old age, that's really pleasing.